Hello again guys, it is me, AJ, and this is another tutorial for you on a self-controlling power plant. What you're going to need for this is some combustion engines, iron ore gates, don't have a second one, red pipe wire, and everything else you're going to normally need. So you also want some cobblestone structure pipe, valve pipe, you'll want your wrench, iron, stone and cobblestone waterproof piping, refinery, tanks, energy conductive piping, and a balance pipe. Okay, now this is all you're going to need. Also going to so go in the red bag. You'll need some stuff from Red Power. So you can use some stone jacketed wire, red alloy wire, a toggle latch, and an AND gate, and some levers. Okay, just get rid of these bits. Alright, so this is the one I've got built, so I'm going to show you how to build one of these simple and easy. Okay, so what I'm going to do is start with the engines and how they're going to be wired up. Okay, so we just say we're going to do like I've done there, group of 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and they're going to be wired up in groups of 2. So we say the wiring is going to come. Alright, so I'll wire them up in groups of 2 like so. I've done something. Yeah. You can use coloured wire. You can use the coloured jacketed wire for this if you really want to. That is up to you. And I'm going to have this come out here just a bit. Let's just get some stone to cover up the mistakes I made. Okay, so there we've got our 6 engines and our cable. Okay, so next we need to have the ability to turn them on. Okay, so how I'm going to do that is going to take the AND gate and the toggle latch and the lever. So the AND gate is going to go here, and it's going to be on that mode, out 2, one from the left and one from the right. So just knock the snow out of the way. Fortunately I am in a snow biome. And over here is going to be the simple lever, so that's that. Alright, over here is going to be a toggle latch, which, there we go, like so, toggle latch. Okay, I'm going to leave it to the off position for a second. Okay, then of course you do the usual, how to, pipe it up. Okay, how you do that is more or less up to you. I'm just going to do it the way that I've got it set up for my other one. Okay, I'm just going to use the basic materials. Alright, next is the cobblestone and stone waterproof piping. And did I also... yeah, I've got the valve pipe, just checking. Okay, so what I do to do this is I have the cobblestone on the smooth stone piping on one side, and if you remember from many of my earlier tutorials, if you ever watched them, and if you haven't, I suggest you go watch them and help explain things, is I always use cobblestone waterproof for cooling, so cobblestone cooling, and stone for fuel. Okay, so the idea is water comes in one, goes out the other. Okay. Right, so this is sorted. So what I'm actually going to do is, to make things easier, I'm just going to grab out of my blue alchemy bag, I'm going to grab, I don't have one, okay, so I'll just quickly grab one out of here, a waterproof teleport pipe. As you can see, I've got these alchemy bags. The idea is I've set them in a colour codation, so that's railcraft, red power, forestry, buildcraft, vanilla. Okay, so I'm going to put that there. That's going to be connected to... No, I'm actually going to set up its own full system. So, you give me a sec, I'll build the rest of it, and then I'll show you how it gets wired up. So, I'll be right back. Okay guys, here I am back again now. As you can see, I've got this small system set up. Just to point out, because I do get comments about this isn't just to produce its own fuel. It's primarily to produce its own fuel. Okay, but the idea is it can do other things as well. So don't go, you know, be like, oh, you've just created a self-sufficient system. No, I haven't created a self-sufficient system which can also do other things. Like this one, it's running a quarry, a filler, which is building my enclosure. I've used it to make these two buildings where I'm using farmology. It's also not running them exactly, but I will be linking up there. I've got an update as well while I'm here. I've made a 2-track control system here, which will allow me to... Oh, need to flick that lever. Okay, get the water pumping. Right, I can have 2 carts on here now, which is, you know, woohoo! Bonza. Okay, so, you know, I've been a very busy bee, but I will explain how all this works in a second, so don't go away while I get on with this. So, yeah, here's the 6 engines hooked up, okay? Now, I know the question on your mind, what's the toggle latch for? What's the point of the toggle latch? The toggle latch is for the control mechanism, to make sure it works, okay? To make sure that it doesn't overload, okay? So, this is where we're going to need our iron ore gates, our stone jacketing, red alloy wire, and this. Yes, I was using an oil source to do that, okay? I do have other ore gates, but I'm just going to stick with iron at the minute. To make ore gates, you need an assembly table and lasers being powered. I'm powering them with my first made. Okay, so again, iron ore gate, you need red pipe wire and a redstone iron chipset. To make a redstone iron chipset, you need redstone and iron. Okay, just make it simple, redstone and iron. Just simple redstone. To make red pipe wire, you need redstone and rose. If I remember rightly, it's red rose colour dye. Okay, as you see, there we have our iron ore gate. So, what we're going to do first is I'm going to create a way that the engines will automatically request fuel. So I'm going to link this up to here. I'm going to get my pipe, which will just allow me to make a rummage, like so. Clear a space underneath the... under here. Right, come up above here. And then meet in the middle. Alright. And then place an... get it down there. And then use the stone jacketed wiring to go 1 and 2. As you see, the jacketed wiring connects straight to this. Now I'm going to connect that all up. So red pipe wire across to this. Okay. Now this is the difficult part. You have to program this right. Okay. So we go into the OR gate. Not like that. And this is the input. So this is what the gates has to be. So we click this to tank empty, and we set it to red pipe signal. Okay. So that means that when this engine's tank is empty, fuel tank, it doesn't touch the water tank for some reason, it will send out a signal. So now what we do is we have to go over to this thing, click here. Red pipe signal on means redstone signal on. Okay. I could be wrong. I might have to change that to liquid. Space for liquid. Yeah, okay. Space for liquid. There you go. And that comes here and turns on the valves, which will open them up. Good. Okay, so I'm just going to... I'll leave it like that for now. So that means that basically this fuel will be done. Okay. To control this, I'm just going to use a simple lever. Just going to go... boom. opens the valve, pumps the oil out. I'm going to pump all the oil out into there. Let's see how my iron gates are doing. It's taking a while. I might add another. I'm going to add some more assembly lasers. Yeah, there we go. More lasers. That'll speed it up. There we go. It's another iron ore gate. Ooh, I'm running out of those. Hold on a sec. Just rectify that. It's going to be in the vanilla bag. So we get some redstone and some iron ingots. And you just put them in there, like so. So there, that creates a chipset. That does that. So once this stops working, do that. There we go. Okay. Right. Right, so we've got its automatic fuel request system on, which is good. Now we need it to say, oh well, hang on a minute, I'm a bit hot, I think I need to turn off. Okay, so there's another way we can do this, which is actually going to be as such. So what we do is get an iron ore gate here, and I'm going to connect it to this engine, because I could do it on this one, but you know, I don't want it interfering. And then do cobblestone piping out to here, or the structure piping down to here. Okay, and then I'm going to get my red pipe wire, and put it down to here. Okay, so bear with me, this will make sense. Right, so I should have another. This takes forever, this does. Might actually just get one out of here. I'm doing this in creative mode. There we go, an iron ore gate. There we go. Oh, no, not that one, that's the diamond. One iron ore gate, good. Okay, and I'm going to connect it here. Alright. Now, this one's idea is simple. I'm going to set this to engine red pipe signal, and engine blue red pipe signal. Alright, this will make sense in a second. Now I'm going to take my stone jacketing, and from there, no, I don't want that, I want there. For some reason it doesn't automatically remove snow like most of it does. This is creative mode, so it is a bit buggy for certain bits. Stone, jacket, red alloy wire. Okay. Okay, right, so the idea is, once this is all filled, done, I will have this. The idea is when the engines get hot, get to red, this will send out a pulse, which toggles the latch, making it go off. This cuts out the AND gate, which means the engines stop. Okay, so the idea is I leave this lever on. Ta-da. When the engines go down to blue, it sends out another pulse, which will toggle the latch to on, thus making the engines work again. Okay? Glad you guys are still with me. So, now what I'm going to do is into. This is the annoying thing with creative mode. Okay, so let's get me some buckets of 6 buckets of fuel. Right, 1 bucket per engine. Okay, producing power. Daylight to sunrise. Don't like doing anything in the dark. Did not want to do that. Accidentally given one engine more fuel than it needs. I think I've done it twice, I think. So that one there. and this one here. Good. Delete, delete. Perfect. So there you go. Okay, so now I want these things to work. So to do that, I'm just going to do the simple. Ooh. Okay, maybe not so simple. Now, where's it gone? Valve pipe. Dum. Okay. One valve pipe. One bit of redstone. And one lever. Titan. Hasn't reached the last one, so I'll just quickly fix that. Okay. So there you go. The valve's open. All the fuel will flood out. So I can just leave that like that. Turn it off. That's still producing. That's producing a couple of chipsets there. I'll put these chipsets back in there, and then I'll use the switch control to turn it off. Okay. So as you can see, it's running nice and smoothly. It's requesting liquid, like so. So oh, forgot to make sure that was turned the right way. My stupid mistake. And leave it running. So the idea is leave these engines long enough, they'll get hot. Signal comes here, goes click. As soon as it goes off of green, off of blue, so when they turn blue, this gate will turn off, and so will this signal. It's manually controlled, so that's why I've got the lever connected to the AND gate as well. Okay, you can figure out a way to move and hide all this if you really want. But the idea is this will allow you to run your engines indefinitely without caring, so you can switch them on and off whenever you want. Quite literally, it is that easy. Excuse me. Right. I've hijacked it onto the back of my water system, and I'll actually show you that in a second. But this is basically how this one runs. So the idea is this OR gate says if there's space for liquid, red pipe signal, which means, you know, open the valves and let fuel in. Okay. So I can easily turn that off. I could say, no, don't do anything. I could change that, and I could hook it up to here, and say, you know, if there's no liquid, if there isn't liquid in here, open up the tank. Don't have to, but I prefer it connected to here. So I'm still going to leave it on because it's connected to that. So I actually might make a minor change to that. See. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'll connect that up. Let's grab myself a wooden conductive pipe, smack that off. There we go. So now the idea is, as long as there is no liquid in this pipe, it will go. And as you can see, it will tell the valves to be open. So as you can see here, there is now no. The engines have gone green. Signal is off. So therefore, it goes back to here. Easy peasy. And I can reset this if I want to. I can basically add on an extra clip, so I can go like this. I can go, right, well, if I want that, I want this and this piece of stone, and in my red bag there will be a buton. Connect button. So if I want, I can reset. Here is this will be the reset for the toggle latch. So if I decide, you know what, screw it, click toggle latch, click toggle latch. There you go. Easy peasy, lemon and squeezy. Okay. I've also got a balance pipe between the two, so that they work like that. I think there's a problem here. This keeps being reset. I might need to find out what's doing that. I think, it's this. If I knock that stone out, it should stop. See if that stops it. If it doesn't, I'll have to rearrange it. I had this problem on the other one. So I can actually show you over here. It's worked here. As you can see, they were obviously red, and they're now down to orange. We click on here. Engine red signal, engine blue signal. And there is no signal because it's orange. So once the engine goes down to blue, this toggle switch will be done. But if I want, I can easily go, no, start again. Turn back on. These engines, for some reason, take a bit of time to kick in after that happens. So what's happened over here? Sometimes the redstone signal from the Lawrence red power takes a bit to catch up. So you see, there you go. Fuel went through that pipe, so it turned off. I think I've had a bit of a water bug here. Something's going wrong. Okay, I'm not exactly sure what's happening here, guys, but while I let that fix itself, I'll show you how my water system works. So, on the water pipe here, connected to my main one, I have got 3 ironed ore gates. Okay, and each one says if the pipe is empty, send out a signal. And they're placed between these iron waterproof pipes. So here's one here, it says if the pipe is empty, send a signal. And here's the last one, pipe is empty, send signal. So this button is going to click on. It sends a signal all the way down there, it doesn't matter because they aren't set to send a signal, they're just set to, if there's a condition, send the signal. Alright, that sends the signal all the way down along here to these valves and says open up. And at the same time, I've got a gate here that says if there's space for liquid in these tanks, send a signal here. This wireless receiver is hooked up over here to the water pump system. So the idea is these pumps will be turned off if there is too much. And I might want to consider connecting these up because they're starting to overheat. So I can come over here and there. Just going to connect a override. Just going to connect an override switch here quickly. Where's that lever? There we go. There we go. That'll let them cool off for a bit because there's plenty of water going to be pumped through the system. Here's a toggle set switch reset from my last one, and here's a manual override, so I can turn it on and off, and that resets the toggle switch. But yeah, as you can see, this system's working fully. Areas of pipe that might be empty are saying, "Oh, I haven't got any water here. Can I have some?" And it will send it all the way down. As long as there's water running through, it will keep running through. It's a bit of a boggy on-off, but it'll work. So here's where this problem is. That's happened. So that another signal's been sent by accident, which has cut it off. So reset. Right, I'll have to reset that toggle switch itself. That happens sometimes. You will encounter tiny bugs like this, unfortunately. As you can see, all these engines are running. They're not running at the same time, but they're running effectively. Okay. So there you go. You can sort of see I made this alteration from the last design. This is my self-sustaining, self-controlling engine system. This can be expanded to anything. It can be incorporated into my previous designs, which I'm going to. Just throw away my lever. That's where something's gone wrong for some reason. Turn off sunrise. These valves. You must remember, the valve pump pipes, they are one way, they are orientated one way, so you've got to make sure they're facing the right way. That was the silly mistake I made. Somehow they got switched around. Okay, you can use the OR gates. You can use the gates on anything. I mean, you could put them on here to say, oh, when there's oil in here, when there is liquid in the tank, open, and it will turn on a switch, which will start it running. You can do. It's up to you. What's going on over here? Okay, for some reason some of these engines are working and some of them aren't. Not firing on all cylinders, as they would say. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shut it down. Shut this engine down and leave it alone for a while, let it run. Plenty of fuel and all sorts, but yeah, that is the system. That is it. Okay. If you've got any questions, leave me a comment below. I will endeavour to answer them all. If you have anything else you'd like me to maybe attempt to build, any system you'd like me to show being built, I can do so. Because, you know, I enjoy doing this. I actually made this in a day and have altered it. You'd see my old system still runs on engines. I could easily change that and go, guess what? I don't want you running on engines anymore. I want you to do this if this happens. Click, click, go up 2. So I could easily alter this to that. And for some reason, oh yeah, of course I turned it off, didn't I? I always just point out, you'll always want this. This is why I like the AND gates from Malorum's Red Power, is because you can have a manual control. I always want a manual control because I think it's always better. Okay. That's about it. That's all I've really got to show you for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked it. And leave me a comment, subscribe, and I will get the next one ready for you guys to see. This is AJ signing out.